Looks like we're live. Maybe. Raise eyebrow. We're in game anyways. That's the Bolt bot. Alright. Let's go ahead and finish up the last chunk of Vashj'ir, shall we? Which of course will involve standing here. Alright everyone, it's really important. Don't fight the Alliance. Okay. I want to make sure everyone knew that. You there, don't fight the Alliance. Don't fight the Alliance. Okay. Wait, where are the Alliance? Don't fight the Horde.
Shop,
Is what I
browse.
meant.
Smell.
How do I not have... Do you have to delete them? What the crap? Oh, that's
Farewell,
why.
friend of the Grummels.
Oh, right, okay. Well, anyways, crap. That's okay, I can make that work, Welcome to the Death Trap. Oh, jeez, it's actually a little hard to navigate here. Okay, hang on. Is this... Hang on, a little further. Oh, jeez. Oh, God. Well, we're down now. Oh, God, water. Okay. So, welcome to the Pincher X2. I've actually already shown you this thing from the outside. This is what it looks like from the inside. Captain Gloval and First Lieutenant Willie, and I can't get you a proper picture of both. There's the city of Vashj'ir we're sailing by right now on the right. By the way, you may wonder why it's called the Pincher. It actually has pinchers up front to attack with. So of all the things that tend to bug out in Vashj'ir, the zone, nothing tends to bug out more than the sub ride. Seriously, that's been a huge problem. Notice the Naga are still out there, actively attacking us as we speak. This is true on the Horde too, by the way. They have a different sub, but it's the same buggy problem. Good as we're not drowning yet.
We are approaching the cavern, Captain.
Take her in slowly, number 2.
I gotta be honest, I like the voice acting on the Horde side better. The goblins are like, okay, we gotta be super careful. And then kill it!
The reports
Kill
were
it!
accurate. The beast is here.
There's Ozumat.
Steady, number 2. Fire! Fire! Blow it out of the water!
Sadly, Ozumat's a little stronger than that. Yeah, you saw our pinchers for just a second there.
The beast escaped. By Mekatork's mustache, it was fast.
Mekatork's mustache.
Don't worry, number 2. We'll get another chance. And we'll be ready.
Yeah, okay, we didn't die. That actually went out without a hitch. That might be one of the few times I've seen that whole cutscene go by without any flaws whatsoever. That bravo. I am amazed at that. Yeah, I just want to show you something. I want to show you the pinchers, because I didn't really get a chance to show them off earlier. See? Pincher attack. And there's 2 of them, hence the X2 pincher. And there's where, the bridge was, where we just were. Anyways, okay, moving on. Alright, it's time to destroy what's left of the Naga, and the forces of Unzoth. The Unzoth Alliance, maybe? We never really did come up with a title for that. I mean, it's like the Twilight's Hammer, and the Naga, and the elements of fire, and the elements of air, some of them, and then Rocky. Like, do we have a title for them? Alright, so what are you linking me? Zawan. Hang on, guys. Zawan is like, hey, Harsh, you should look at this. And talk about this thing. It's not loading, though, because for some reason Battle.net's like dying. Oh, here we go. Nazath? Nazath? Am I saying that right? Which is, of course, still contradicting the game, but whatever. Nazath? Seriously? Also, I like Nzoth's ability there. Anyways. What was I doing?
The Naru have not forgotten.
Yeah, there we
us.
go. We'll call it the New Black Empire. I like that. Since at this point there's only the one old god left. Dude Face, whose name I'm not even going to try to pronounce anymore. And Squid Face, there we go. And so he would technically be the one in charge of that empire. Yeah, I'm going to keep calling it Nzoth. Nazath, really? I mean, hell, even in game they call it Nzoth. Excuse me, Nzoth. Nzoth is how they pronounce it. Anyways, well done, Private Zolom. Our cavern is ours, but the beast escaped. Should it raise its ugly head again, we will blast. We will make with the blasting it out of the water.
Remain vigilant.
So, all in favor of overriding their
I
terrible
supply only
pronunciation.
the finest goods.
Oh, they sell hardtack. Awesome. But that's my point. The Black Empire was only on Azeroth. Nzoth. That's how I've always pronounced it. I've pronounced it like it looks. And as I mentioned earlier, they actually say Nzoth in-game.
Have a good one.
Okay. Let's talk to the engineer. Ooh, it's Foxy Topper. Anyways.
My, you're a tall one.
Submarine fuel is expensive. Ugh. The powers that be in Gnomeregan were generous enough to deliver fuel barrels, but we're burning through it faster than expected. And that means we're going to need to improvise. It's a well-known fact that sea creatures are full of interesting chemicals, like oil. Take this device. Oh my god, we actually care about oil for, like, the first time.
Off and away.
I mean, this is actually a major issue for the first time in WoW, that we need oil. But, yeah. So I'm going to not be talking as much as I usually do, at least initially, unless you guys ask me stuff, until the rest of the people in the house wake up. Then I'll be a little more vocal. How is that even possible, Psychotic? I was going to say... Oh, whoop, right, no, I'm going the right way. I'm going the right way. I actually like how Nzoth looks. He was probably at least partially inspired by Ozumat's appearance, I would guess anyways, given the obvious connection between the two. But I have to admit I'm a little surprised they went the teeth direction. Because we already had teeth with Yogg-Saron, you know, so why have more teeth? Death Knight. I'm like, what class am I playing? I'm literally extracting oil from fish, by the way. Just pointing it out. I kind of figured, in fact, a lot of people were talking, they would go with, like, the brain direction, you know? Since Nzoth was the one behind so many things. Now, it is worth noting that based on what we've learned, actually, it sounds like Yogg-Saron was actually the schemer. Nzoth was the corruptor, which is a, you know, slight variance in duties there. Yeah, Cthulhu had teeth, but he was the eyes. I mean, we even talked about this. Cthulhu was clearly the eyes. Yogg was clearly the the thousand faces, you know, lots and lots of teeth and whatnot instead of eyes. I guess they don't have to theme them since they're just bullets, as we've discussed. I have to admit, I actually pictured something a little bit different, and I'm a terrible artist, so I can't. I'm just gonna have to try and describe to you. What I was picturing was like a fairly similar overall structure, but instead of, you know, just a squid with the teeth and whatnot, imagine that he looks or primarily translucent. Like, instead of actually seeing an outer skin, you see the inner veins and nerve clusters. And so you see like this web making the shape of the creature instead of actually seeing the shape of the creature. And then, and that was the, I mean, I don't know how else to describe it. That was the overall design direction I was envisioning Unzoth to go in. Hey, Jaxie. Maybe I should go around the other way. Yeah, I think I will do that. And I was picturing, like, really long grasping tentacles, but instead of tentacles being, you know, like squid tentacles or whatever, or octopus tentacles, I was picturing them being more along the lines of, like, literally a net of nerves that would reach out and grab you and just that kind of a thing. And I admit I was also picturing some heavy lightning-based stuff because I like lightning and I thought it would be cool. You know, everyone in the chat's like, "Ah, that's the worst idea ever. Why would he ever think that?" Yeah, apparently one of the devs agrees with you on that, Psychotic, although he did take back his statement. Come on. Thank you, Zoan. Appreciate the support. Well, in fairness, it would be too orderly to go with a theme, I suppose, so...
Pleased to meet you.
Yes, this will do. How much do you know about fuel? Constructing the perfect fuel is a tricky job. There's plenty of factors to balance. Chrono, peroxidization parameters, tempero-incendiary variables, conflagrational siltrification criteria. That's only naming a few. Hopefully the samples you brought me can be combined into the right proportions to create the perfect biofuel. Use that table over there and try combining the samples.
You have a great day now.
Guys, we're about to make biofuel. Which is a little redundant of a statement, actually, but... Alright. Terrapin. Remora. Oops, there we go. Okay, mix! Ugh. Hey,
Can I help you?
what do you think of this one?
Be seeing you.
Too much terrapin oil. Because he's... Wow, okay. So let's try 1 terrapin. 2 remora. And 2 hammerhead. Hello, Toaster.
Hey. Alrighty then.
Still too smoky. Okay, okay. Alright, let's try this one.
Need assistance? You have a great day now.
Apparently that one will burn up too hot and blow up the ship. Sorry guys, I was channeling my inner goblin for a second there. Whoops. Damn it.
Hi, how are you?
I didn't find it strange. I found it worthy of note, Takoida.
Need assistance?
Have you considered a career in science? If you ever get tired of this Death Knight nonsense, come see me. I could use an assistant with your devotion to experimentation and the scientific method.
Be seeing you.
Alright. That would be interesting, Dirge.
Arcanan Poros.
You know what would be an interesting raid mechanic?
Blessings
Hang on,
upon your
hear me out for a
family.
second. What if, like, the neurons or whatever of Nzoth reach out and, like, you have a little bit of choice in this as a raid composition, but basically make it so that certain people swap certain abilities, certain core abilities, or no, cooldown abilities. So some of the tanks lose some of their live capacity and gain DPS capacity, but some of the DPS or healers could gain live capacity because they just get the abilities from someone else. And you can make it so that, you know, you and you switch, and you and you switch, and so you can coordinate it so that the people, and you would need to do that because everyone would be taking damage, especially the people who are over here. And I don't know, how would I implement that? Let me think about that. Like, the more health you have, the less damage he would do, or something like that. I don't know, I'd have to think about that. Point being, Takoida, that I was speculating in a near virtual vacuum. So the fact that it had a defense system in a place that was designed for people to walk around in it was something that made me think it was possibly constructed.
The Legion's end
Private
draws
Zoilon,
near.
at attention, we are having a small problem. We have sent Humphrey and Oscar Digsong to Underlight Canyon to the northwest, but they are not coming back. They were supposed to scout the area. They have lost all contact with them. Your assignment, Private, is to locate our comrades, and if they leave, bring them back to me. Why am I a private
Remember
now?
the lessons of the past.
My rank is just bouncing all over the place in the Alliance. In the Alliance military. Excuse me. But by way of making my point, though, Takoida, human beings do not have corridors in them designed for people to walk around in them of equivalent size. That would be like as if my chest cavity was basically empty. You know? And it isn't. It's actually quite full. Of course, it is also possible that it was once quite full and that they just carved their way into it. So, like I said, we don't frickin' know. Which is the whole point of my discussion to begin with. Really? To use this mount, you must be underwater. Don't tell the game. But I think it's, they were underwater right now. What is he doing? Hello there. I was just, expecting this shell here. Carry on, this here. Why are you upside down? Seem to be having a floating problem. And why is that? Couldn't tell you. Maybe I've got low bone density. Or a larger than average lung capacity. Maybe it's all that cheese I had for lunch. Either way, this shell's the only thing that's keeping me from rocketing to the surface. Fascinating. Aye, it runs in the family. The Digsongs have always had buoyancy issues, I'm afraid. Then how'd you get all the way over here? Hand over hand, lad. Hand over aching hand. Can't tell you how many galleons of seawater went right up my nose. You should have seen me fight off that pyre shell crab using my feet and my teeth, though. 'Twas a thing of glory, it was. Sounds impressive. I remember when I was a wee lad, the other boys would swim down to the bottom of Loch Modan to pick up sand dollars or seashells. Oscar and I were stuck on the lake's surface, kicking our legs uselessly in the air, but we couldn't join them. That's too bad. I can't even remember how many times I've spotted beautiful mining vein at the bottom of a lake or a river, glimmering mockingly at me. Forced to float oarlessly by, mining pick in hand, only to watch some blasted orc or blood elf swim down and take it from me. Listen, I really need to get going now. You have no idea what it's like to be stuck here in Vashj'ir like this. Do you have any idea how many fish have confused me for a bit of seaweed? Nibbling on my toes, hiding between pieces of my armor. The tickling alone is enough to drive a dwarf mad. I can tell you don't want to hear my grumbling, that's fine. Just don't forget how lucky you are with your sea legs and your ability to swim in a direction other than up. Sure. Of course, we haven't returned yet. We've had our fair share of setbacks. Not the least of which is the passing of my brother. He lost his grip and floated away. Thought he'd grab some fish to bring up with the captain, but he floated off and was eaten by those great eels. No. Oscar's last wish before he floated up into the great eel's gullet was to bring back food for the captain. So that's what we'll do. My brother had a genius plan. He saw those merlocks luring out fish out of the reeds with a phosphorescent antenna and devised a way to make his own. Kill. All you need is something that glows. Kill the crabs and groupers that are on the floor. They aren't edible themselves, but their phosphorus is more valuable than their meat. Sure. Hello, Anthony. Wave. A jellyfish mount. No, there is not a jellyfish mount. There's actually only the 2 underwater mounts. The default one and the rare one I do not have. That's a good question, Dakota. Considering a lot of his ideas actually do work. We see that in Uldum, too. So... Ew. Psychotic. That's all I have to say about that. Not interested in weird textured food. Wait, Hoth is underwater? That makes so much sense now. That's why the AT-ATs were going so slow. Cool. Cool. That also explains why they exploded. Wait, no it doesn't. Why am I boring today, Zoan? Yeah, a little bit, yes, Anthony. By about a month and a half. We need enough phosphorus to make a really bright light, especially if you're going to be competing with those merlocks. There you go. Beautiful! Oscar would be proud. Stick this device on your head and swim around the kelp and the coral. Should be all kinds of little fish there and find your antenna irresistible. Oh yeah, I supposed to put together a report. I'd almost forgotten. Looks like the mostly harmless wildlife around here, except for those blasted eels and a few merlocks. Captain will be more interested in the merlocks, I think. Go engage a few of them in combat, see what kind of moves they got. From what I've seen, the big ones hunt for fish in the kelp, and the little ones practice some kind of magic, but that's all I know. Oh, you're talking about the food thing. Okay, gotcha. But I've already tried new types of food. There are no new types of food left. None at all. But yes, I'm a very boring person, as we all know. Where is that? Hey, Sororoxus. Sorry. I was just thinking. God, I love the art design of this area. I really do. Back when I used to live in California, they actually had good sushi places. I know, weird, right? One of the things Mum and I would do back in the day is we would go to a place and literally just go down the list. Every time we went, we'd go like once a week or so. And we just keep track. It's like, okay, this week we're going to try this. And we'd literally just go down the list trying every single type of sushi that was there. Figuring out what we liked, you know. And bit by bit, we discovered what we actually liked and what we didn't. In fairness, I do not actually like certain things. Like, I have actively discovered the texture of squid and octopus is just not for me. The flavor was fine, but the texture just really got to me. So... Hey, call me. What's up? So what is this we just got? This egg appears to be from one of the devious eels that float up the canyon. I wonder if Humphrey might be interested in this. Besides, since I'm curious what orangutan tastes like, I'm not sure you can really level at me someone. So I found this eel egg. What do you got there? An egg? We could definitely do something with this. Hey, game. Get ready, kid. It's time for some good old-fashioned ding-song revenge. Those eels ate me brother. Me brother! It's time someone showed them who's boss. He removed several sticks of dynamite from his vest. Why did he just have those on him? The great eels to the south are too tough to fight one-on-one, but with this egg, we could even the odds. Place it near one of the creatures, then kabloy! If the bomb doesn't kill the eel outright, it should be enough to be near enough to death for you to finish it off. I have not had frog, and I never will. I don't know. Oh, there's one. Right there. Look, I got one of your eggs. Death. I'm free. You saved me. No, not again. Well, I saved his brother. My dad actually ordered frog once, and he decided he never was going to again. Not because they didn't taste good, but because he literally spent, like, I don't know, 5 times as much as it would be for chicken legs for a plate of really tiny chicken legs. So it was like more money for less food, basically is how he described it. And he didn't think the taste was worth the increase in price. So he was like, not doing that again. Hey, Ilian, what's up? Welcome to the end of Vashj'ir. Hopefully the last cutscene won't bug out. It actually bugs out on me quite regularly. So we'll see how that works out. Well, Sororoxus, you know how Sora could breathe underwater in Atlantica? It's a surprisingly similar reason. Oscar is alive! Wait, what'd you say? You let him float away again? Ah. Well, you held up your end of the bargain. I appreciate everything you've done. Here, I've only been hanging on to this as ballast. Doesn't seem to be doing me any good. He listens as you recount your fight with the Murlocs. They sound like regular old Murlocs, just underwater. That'll make the captain happy. How many did you catch? Oh, you did good, Xylem. You did real good. One last thing. I'm gonna need you to bring this back to Captain Global. With me condition, it'll take me a week to get back to the cove. We don't have time to waste. Yeah, sure. Listen, I have a mount. You want to just grab hold and... No? Okay, bye. This is Vashj'ir, Anthony. My tied for second favorite zone in the game, actually. You know, I haven't had alligator either. But yes, we are... I'll even show you. We are right here. In this massive zone. But don't be fooled. It's only physically massive. I'm kidding. Most of the Cataclysm zones are actually quite dense in terms of content, and Vashj'ir is no exception. We will probably go ahead and finish Hydril today as well, because this is going to be a longer stream day than usual. Which is good, because tomorrow is going to be a shorter stream day than usual, so heads up on both of those. Look at all this food we keep getting down here. Ugh. Yes, as we can see, we're basically over the abyss here. Up, up, up.
The Legion will fall.
Have you found Oscar and Humphrey? I see, yes, I'm remembering now. Humphrey and Oscar were not the strongest swimmers. The reconnaissance is helpful, and the extra fish look very tasty. If you're seeing Mr. Dogsong before he returns, please send him my thanks.
Dionys Aka.
Of course, but first, I have to go do some other quests.
You have my undivided attention.
You ask me, I think we let Soup and Gravy take care of this while we read and write. It's bird lime to kick and prance ourselves out here before we're all brown bread. Catch my meaning? Alright, hands up. How many people understood that? You're the Xyloms everyone's been talking about. Good to meet you, love. Let's have a butcher's hook. Enough rabbit, alright. Let's get down to business. I need to swim northwest to the Caesarchus front and read and write them snakes something quick. Nothing fancy. If you're looking for a bother, we'll give them a right good boat in the face.
We are not the monsters here.
Xylom, the snakes are after our daff and balmy. Go northwest to Deep Fin and plant some good in their pot and pan-pitched and dos of theirs. They'll kick and prance their way from Alderman's nails stuck between their nutmegs when they see that. Not that they've got any nutmegs, mind you.
Watch your back.
Pleased to meet you.
Xylom, these are demon squid... There are these demon squid things out there. Oh god, this is one of the best quests. There are these demon squid things out there that are eating Gilblin's heads and then taking them over. That's one way to get slaves. I think you could swim out into the deep front and bring me back one of those things.
Off and away.
Sure.
Hey there.
We've got our reinforcements, but we still need a way to pay them. That kind of action doesn't come cheap. Up on Deep Fin Ridge to the northwest, the slimy Gilblin have all sorts of treasure. I think it's time to kill them all and steal their stuff.
Be careful.
Seriously, we're going to... So we've got elite troops down here, but we have to pay them because that's how a military works. So we're going to rob from the enemies we're fighting to pay the military. I love that. Oh my god. Okay. Believe it or not, we actually are almost done with Vashj'ir. In case you're wondering what's going on down there, that is a war that's being fought. The yellow names you're seeing are the minions of Neptulon. The red names you're seeing are Neraki, which are the faceless ones, servants of the old gods, specifically the servants of Unzoth here. We're going to get involved in that a little bit later. We've got some other things on our mind right now, like a giant cliff wall. Holy crap. Oh, right, yes. Yes, I recall this. Let's ignore the everything here. Okay, so these are merciless ones. You see those wonderful, lovely little things? They're basically squids, but they float. I know we're underwater, but trust me, they don't need water to float around. And they have a singular eyeball on them, and they tend to do this thing where they kind of grab onto your head and take over your brain. Because Well, they're called merciless ones for a reason. Well, actually, they do, Takoida. First of all, the Naga tend to have quite a bit of a wealth of resources because they're Naga. But more importantly, the Gilblin, whom we are actually attacking and robbing, they're... How do I put this? They're like regular goblins, but much, much, much stupider. And I don't mean like stupid as in, oh, he can't even do calculus. No, I mean as literally their brains don't work as well. So, they're just interested in things that are shiny. And you'd be surprised how shiny valuable things can be. So we're going to go get some gold and gems and jewels and, you know, other things that aren't actually worthwhile, like aluminum and whatever from them. Statistically speaking, we are at least likely to have some goods of value we can rob them of. For the cause, you know. It's all for the cause. Yeah, I doubt the faceless ones would be worth that. Is that... There's just a kraken floating over there. A different type of kraken. That's actually a beast called a kraken. What Ozumat is not actually a kraken. He's a little different. We'll talk a little bit more about him in a bit, though, because he's going to be relevant in a bit. There's probably some colored glass, too. Like I said, we are just as likely to get stuff of value as not, but that's still a 50-50 chance. So, well, we'll get there. Treasure. What do we got here? Don't feel too bad it wasn't theirs to begin with, is what it says when you steal their plunder. Also, they have a companion cube here. Just felt like... Yeah. Ah, crap. Ah, crap. Ah, okay, okay. Ah, must get free. Okay, we're okay. No, no, it's fine. We just plunder our way to victory. I'm sure the Alliance military has nothing wrong with robbing people as they're killing them in order to pay the people who are killing them. Right? Okay, admittedly, I kind of joke, because this is kind of a really weird situation. Because, on the one hand, this is kind of ethically questionable, but on the other hand, I mean, it's also fairly practical, so, what are you gonna do, right? Let's just rob. Rob our way to victory. And before you think I'm being sanctimonious about the Alliance, the Horde do the same damn thing. Which is even weirder, actually. Because the Horde have a less need to pay most of their people. Since the Garrosh supporters, the actual Garrosh loyalists, the disgusting Horde, don't really need pay. Of course, they do have other people working for them that do need pay, so that is valid. Like the player character, for that matter. I mean, do you really think we'd work with Garrosh if they weren't paying us? Actually, Takoida, that's a good question. I wonder if they did get paid before they were sent out here. Considering this is the Alliance, and as we know, they're not doing great economically right now. Wow, that looks really diseased and terrible. Ugh. Hope that has nothing to do with the giant thing that we don't know the name of. We need to come up with a name for the giant things, because we're going to be talking about them again in the future. Quick, what do you guys think we should call them? For the Alliance. Oh god, whale shark, whale shark. Okay, okay. We could call them giant dudes, shell monsters. How about megaliths? No, let me think about this. I'm just going to call them sea loa, because that is my biggest theory about what they are. So you'd think, being as old as they are, and as, well, strong as they are, the sea loa would, shelters. I'm not going to make a Pokemon joke. You get the idea that they kind of make a balance with the surrounding environment, and I mentioned that because that'll be relevant in a second. But I mean, that does make sense, right? I mean, if you're going to be that old and that big of a part of an ecosystem, you're going to have a large impact on it over time, right? Right? I'm not just talking crazy. I mean, I am talking crazy. You know what I mean.
Good day to you.
Ugh. I still have these candy bars from Zuldrak, by the way.
See you later.
What can I do for you?
How much plunder did you reclaim? That should be more than enough for now. We know there's more if the need arises.
See you later.
Hi, how are you?
How many of you... Oh, God. We gotta wait on that
Alrighty
first.
then.
Hang on.
No time for dallying.
Chicken and rice, Xylom. That'll show those sorry sad snakes who the old pitch and toss. Now it's bird line for that twiddly-ting tumbers and ping. Fingers and thumb or plig plonk.
Farewell.
Nice Uncle Bob a poking that general.
Remember, the beast in the shadows might be your salvation.
The beasts in the shadows might be your salvation. I'm gonna go over here now. No, okay, so...
Hey!
This is one of the best quests in the game. How many have you got? Oh, they're ugly, but they look mostly harmless. Here, let me clean the giblin stuff out of these. I've got an idea. Here, I've got an idea for disguise. Take one of these merciless whatchamacallits and put it on your head. I'm just going to pause for a moment for you to acknowledge the fact that I'm about to put a merciless brain sucker on my head.
You have a great day now.
Oh, God, it's not dead. Run! Oh, this is Bobble and Conquers. Try jumping and kill Ace on the spot. Death to everything. You fool, stop running around. Face it. I see you. Nutmegs, don't fail me now. Somebody knock that thing off of Xylom's head. Get away! Get away! Ah. Your simple mind cannot grasp what is transpiring. Okay, so that's funny, but you know what's even funnier?
Can I help you?
Hey, let me see that merciless one again.
Beast?
Okay. Ah, death! Death! Your world crumbles before you. So, I love this because the Blizzard devs knew we would want to do it again. They knew. And so there's just the fact that there's an option to just be like, hey, can I see that one more time? I love thinking about that in character. After this horrible thing of, I will not survive, as you're running around, you know, doing all this horrible, horrible stuff. I love the idea of the character, in character being like, oh, man, oh, that was terrible. Here, let me see that one more time. Death to everything. My friends and I, when we first found this quest, did this like 3 times in a row.
My, you're a tall one.
What happened? That thing wasn't completely dead. Maybe I should stick to mechanical stuff. It gave you a vision of killing us all, and you're going to carry it out. No! In any case, the Earthen Ring fellow, Ironok, wants these specimens taken out to him. I'll make sure he gets them. I don't want them anywhere near me. Oh my god. I love how you can be like, can I see that one more time? Anyways, sorry. We need to get this information to Captain Taylor up on Promontory Point. He's on the northwest, blah, blah, blah. He's over there.
Alrighty then.
Let's do it. Have you refueled the sub yet? Jeez. I have to admit the Alliance one is a little more amusing than the Horde one, just because of the bizarre dialect Worgen speaking in virtual nonsense. As she's like, my nutmegs, you know, as we're being consumed by the darkness. I'm going the wrong way. Like, Hexa Scrub, you Alex trunk, you haven't got a pot of glue! You know, I love it. I love dialects, what can I say? Speaking of dialects, FF9 still isn't out on Steam. Because Square Enix hates us. I am actually starting to wonder what the delay is at this point. I mean, they already have the mobile port done, so I'm curious what else is taking so damn long, unless it's the resolution thing, in which case, I guess it's acceptable. Damn it. Hang on. Come on, glasses. Get clean. So it doesn't bother the crap out of me. There we go. Ah! Where am I? Aha! I'm actually close. I like how they are keeping their supplies here, by the way. This is, I mean, this is how you actually do it, too. But it's just kind of neat to see that. Alright.
What can I do for you?
Before we join the final battle, we must ensure whatever's happening inside the Ancient, okay, that's what they call them, the Sea Loa, from across from us is put to an end, otherwise we won't stand a chance. Very disturbing news, but I believe our Earthen friends have a plan, now that you're here.
Light bless you.
Yeah, I hate
Be
PC
careful.
games too. I never play PC games. Excuse me.
Greetings.
One of the Earthen Wing, wave speaker of Valoran, swam to the nightmare depths to the northeast. I haven't heard from her in a while. Swim out there, see if you can find her.
Go with honor, friend.
Our Earthen Ring friends here are wondering if we can lend them a hand. His faceless ones down in the Scalding Chasm that are defiling the wildlife. Yeah, I can do that.
For the Alliance.
What brings you here?
We think we have a use for the merciless one, your friend from the cave delivered to us, but we need a preservative for it. Down below in the Scalding Caverns are some mushrooms. Okay.
May the eternal sun shine
What
upon
main
thee.
fruit juice? You must take my totem down in the Scalding Chasm. Use it to capture the energies of the faceless as they die. The totem will keep them from returning once the cave. When the totem is full, bring it back to me and we will use it to lure their leader up from the deep below. Well, that sounds horrible, but okay. So you notice this whole area is kind of polluted and rotten and whatnot. Based on what we see, it's pretty likely that this is supposed to be a very recent change. Pretty much just as recently as the Faceless having shown up. And I mention this because, again, that whole ecology equilibrium thing with the Sea Loa Ancient thing right there. I imagine this is not doing him any favors, or her, or whatever. I guess the gender doesn't matter, but yeah. I wonder what's going on Twitch today, because, yeah, I'm streaming at my usual ridiculously low quality. As usual. But you notice all these things are being corrupted, not just by the kind of poisonous, toxic yuck around here, but also, literally, by void energies, which the Faceless or the Naraki are using. So I don't quite understand your question, Fruit Juice, so I'm just going to say that I'm trying to grow my hair out again? Question mark? Let's see. I am streaming at the right quality, right? I mean, I haven't changed anything, but I might as well check. Yep, I am still streaming at super low quality to try and reduce Twitch lag. Apparently it's not working. Yes, there was a little bit of time there, Fruit Juice. For a while there, I was rocking the bald look, and it looked amazing on me. Soon I will be bald again. I do find this interesting because, I mean, we've seen how quickly other, negative forces can corrupt an area. Fel can corrupt an area very quickly. The forces of death can corrupt a thing somewhat quickly. But void stuff can really, really corrupt stuff very, very quickly. And I feel like this is probably one of the best showings of that we actually see, like, ever, really. This is a little crazy how rotten this place has become in such a short period of time. Because of things like that. So really just walk in, plonk, and you're corrupted. Although, if I'm being 100% honest, Fel corrupts way faster. And we literally see this when the Tanan jungle is corrupted. So here's a weird question for you, Zuwan. In your ideal headcanon or universe or whatever, what would you have said would be the situation with regards to us having defeated the old gods, henceforth? Up until this point in time, I mean. Cthulhu and Yogg, basically. I asked that because I've noticed that question is directly related to the bullets question. Hello, Raving Looney. What is up? I need one more Naraki. So you're saying, in a similar method to how we were talking the other day about permanently killing a demon requiring certain energy. This has been proven wrong. But in the theoretical, if killing a demon in a specific way would permanently kill it, you're saying that there would be some way to permanently kill the old gods if we did it right? Am I understanding that right? That is our mortal counter, Raving Looney. And the way I said that probably gives away everything about it. Okay, I actually like that idea, Zilwan. Call me weird for actually agreeing with you for once, but I kind of like that idea.
Warm wishes to you.
Oh, I'm sure glad you're here. Remember her? We actually freed her from Nispira.
Favor the road traveled
Those
by
tentacle horrors rising from the depths have captured that poor beast. Please, can you save it by destroying those things? Will you free Willy? Here, take my totem and plant it near the tentacles. The cold it emanates will cause major shrinkage.
Remain vigilant.
So we have to free Wilhy. I know that's probably not how it's supposed to be pronounced, but that's the reference, so screw you. You know, I wonder if I could kill this without freezing it. Wow, I can. That's great. Hello, Magister. But you're not supposed to just kill them, you're supposed to do this. For the reference, I hate that film. Just want to make that clear. We're in Vashj'ir, Raven Looney. Be free, Willie. Be free. And then he kills me in one shot because he hits for 1,000,000. Yeah, whatever.
May the light embrace you.
Thank you, Zalom. These nightmarish creatures that rise from below give me pause. I fear our efforts will be for nothing.
Be kind to those less fortunate.
Yeah, we're almost done now if we just got that achievement. You know, I actually do like references overall, but... and I admit that I'm, you know, one of the only people who think that way, but... Still, just really? Free Willy? You know, I really hate Blood Elves, guys. Who's with me on this? Because, I mean...
King's honor, friend.
Good enough for me. Don't get too complacent. Hard part's about to come.
Be careful.
Ah, I've been expecting you.
I heard you had an unpleasant encounter by putting one of those demons on your head. I can assure you they are all quite dead. Now put it on your head. Really?
Ancestors watch over you.
Yes, Worgen. Can you feel them seething with a desire to break free and destroy us? This is good. They will be the perfect lure for their leader. I now imbue you with the energies of the corrupting faceless. So you're just imbuing me with void energy. Gee, thanks. Swim down to my luring totem, release the energies, and bring back the brain of their leader. Call forth Ichthys the Unfathomable. It's brain, Jim. I need its brain. Its brain is gone. Like a child could do it. A child. So, yeah, I do like references, because I do them all the time myself, but... Alright. It's time to get his brain. His brain. Holy crap, it's brain. Actually, I do have an answer for that, he's the one jerker. The answer is actually really simple. I'll laugh at you, feeble as I am, but I will oblige. Now let us return to my master below. Oh, you one-shot me! The brain, once you loot it, is still pulsing. No thoughts whatsoever, Taqueta. Other than net positive, because it's a thing. Anyways, so why does void energy manifest as tentacles? The same reason most void energy tends to manifest as organic things in general, because organic life is chaotic. And that's what void and their chaotic thing generally is chaos, so it just makes sense in general. Do you have it, Xylom? With the Unfathomable's brain, we may yet be able to communicate with Lagoric. That would be her. Now we will see if we can get into and speak to her before she dies. Lagoric is an ancient that rests upon the shelf across from us. It's being controlled by something and consumed by something immense beneath us. There is a cave known as the Undershell down below Lagoric. In that cave are ogres for some freaking reason. It's because they're Twilight Hammer.
Light be with you.
The ogre magi within the Undershell have summoned protectors for themselves, fleshling fiends from the Netherrealm. We cannot risk these aberrations being later used against our forces. While you're there, destroy as many as you can.
Go with honor, friend.
You know, there are a lot of similarities between Fel and the chaotic Void Lords when you think about it. Like, literally, when you hear the descriptions of the Void Lords, it's all about how chaotic and unnatural they are, right? And that is always being described as being organic, hence the old gods. And yet Fel is literally chaos to Arcane's order, so we have a cosmological axis that has order, life, light, chaos, chaos, and chaos. I'm not sure what to make of that. Anyways, hey Leander. So I'm sorry, did I go through the Worgen starter area? Yes, we've already done that. We did that, I even know how long ago. A long time ago. Millions of years ago we did that. Trillions. It's been a few weeks. So yeah, this is really, 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 really gross. So what they're doing is these are void tentacles, which are literally reaching up into the creature. I love this, by the way. Last time, the Naga had mages and slaves and pearls, and they had this massive infrastructure and basically a small army trying to control the previous ancient. Here, they just have their Naraki. They're basically just using void magic to shortcut it, is what I'm trying to say. They just like, alright, have the tentacles just reach up into the creature and directly control and manipulate it. Just straight. Enough of this messing around with slaves and whatnot. No. Just do it. We haven't yet, Leander, no. Also, yes, elves are chaotic. Extremely chaotic. This poor thing. I always feel bad for this gun. Notice that there are no eyes in its eye sockets, unlike Nispira. And you know what's the most chaotic race of all? Dwarves. Seriously, get a dwarf drunk. There's no predicting it.
Well met. Light bless you.
Now that you have unplugged Lashorik, we must attempt to make contact with it. I sense the ancient still lives, only barely, though. Place the dead merciless one on your head. Do I really have to? Okay. Ah! Okay, no, it's okay, it's okay. It's not consuming me. Guys, I have the best headgear in the world. Check it out. Glorp, 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 glorp. Glorp, glorp. Glorp, glorp, glorp. Glorp, glorp, glorp. Let us serve the old god. I have to say singular, because really the other ones are kind of gone. Oh my god. So you remember how the other ancient had, like, just the heart out here? Look at how much more they've built into this one. Look at that. They've actually built a temple around the thing's heart in here. Oh my god. That actually would make sense, though, based on what you just said. We've already done BC, so I suppose yes is the answer to your question. I sense something. I sense a soul in search of answers. Wise of your Aeronarch to have you use the Faceless's brain. I see you now. I will die. There is no stopping the inevitable. But you will help me deal with these parasites first. I'm almost dead. You must help stop the Twilight's hammer. They drain my energy to create their ascendants. Really? Okay, so for those of you not aware, an ascendant is a being that has been directly infused with elemental energies, effectively making them half-elemental. An elemental being, elemental, whatever they originally were, hybrid, so like an elemental human or an elemental troll or whatever. It's a very powerful form of creature. The fact that they could drain the life energy of this creature to make an elemental ascendant is interesting. We don't know, Magister. Just to go ahead and summarize. We don't know. On the other side of my chamber are candidates for ascension. We will need their runestones of binding to create a means of controlling a bound elemental. To stop the rituals of ascension, you must destroy the ancient conduits. They use the conduits to siphon my energies away and make their ascendance. A fight with Neptulon is imminent. The Twilight's hammer must be denied these creatures. Yes, I've been secretly tricking you into typing, Magister, sorry. So, yeah, I think... Remember how we were talking about how these are Loa? I think another theory here... Oh, right, where's my disguise? Where's my disguise? Why did I lose my disguise? Come on! I want a squid on my head. Whatever. You, there. I'm tired of pressing buttons. Well, whatever, I suppose. So, another theory that's formulating in my mind here is, what if these are... Well, no, that wouldn't make sense, though. So I'm trying to think of what the elemental connection is. And making these directly elemental creatures is unlikely. I mean, we've seen the fact that there are many different types of elemental creatures. We'll see that in the Firelands especially. So the idea that these are literally elemental creatures is not out of bounds. The only thing that puzzles me then is why they're here and not actually in the plane of water, you know? Why they're not in the Abyssal Maw. Then again, we do see a decent amount of elemental creatures outside the elemental planes. But for these massive things, there would have to be some explanation for why there's just these guys out here. Instead of being like, you know, instead of being in the plane. But yeah, the idea that these things serve Neptulon actually makes a lot of sense, especially given the Ascendant thing. The Twilight Cultist dropped a key. Ooh, well, let's save some people. Hey, you're free! Be free! Never thought I'd be rescued by you. Why? Because I've already rescued you like 3 times? You are referring to the Twilight Bastion raid, Sir Knucklehead. You don't have to sacrifice me, I'd make a great cultist! Ugh. Be sure to tell Captain Taylor you're destroying the hammers in here. Ew, that would be so gross, Leander. I hope not. But as Permeus points out, the elemental plane of water is very connected to this area. In fact, it is worthy of note that we're basically like a mile from a literal rift into the Abyssal Maw, into the plane of water. So, the idea that this place is sufficiently connected to the plane of water as to effectively have water elemental creatures here is not out of bounds. In fact, just to give you an idea, see this hole right over here? We'll actually be going there later. That literally leads to the Abyssal Maw. So, there's a catch, though. The only reason that leads to the Abyssal Maw is because of the Cataclysm, because of the Shattering. If it wasn't for that, that wouldn't be there. The getting to the elemental planes has always been much more difficult until the Cataclysm happened. If it wasn't for the Cataclysm happening, we wouldn't have the barrier weakened between the elemental plane and the material plane. So, for example, we wouldn't be able to go to Deepholm through the Maelstrom. We wouldn't be able to get to the Firelands through the portal in Hyjal. We wouldn't be able to get to the Abyssal Maw here, and down here, the plane of air is literally seeping into the land over here. My point I'm trying to reach here is I don't think that should be considered as evidence because the elemental plane is only here recently, and these creatures are obviously very, very, very old and have been here for a long enough time that the silt has literally moved up and started building around them. So I don't think their proximity to the Abyssal Maw is relevant here. I don't know, Magister. Probably Zawan. I've never accused the old gods of thinking logically, so, you know. Hell, I've never accused most of the villains of this setting to think logically. How many intelligent villains do we have in this setting, really?
2.
Job well done, and I don't need to worry about what would have happened to them if you hadn't been around. The last one was even appreciative enough to give you a reward. Oh, cool. Thanks, buddy. That's possible, Nicholas, yeah. I suppose there is another possibility I should go ahead and mention here. This could be just another pseudo-fell situation. Hey, Thaler. To explain what I mean a little bit, it could be that they're not siphoning elemental energies out to make their ascendants. It could be that they're siphoning energies out to make their ascendants, just in general, with their particular brand of void magic in order to try and construct them. And then they're twisting that energy into elemental energy to create the ascendants. So that is also a possibility. It may have nothing to do with the elements at all. I mean, obviously these things are very, very strong beings who have been here for a very long time. So that's a lot of life energy to pour out. The only problem is that sounds a little more like Fel than Void.
Oh, you have all that is required.
We will use these rune stones to allow you to possess one of the elementals.
They shall ascend no more.
Now take the attuned rune stone and use it to possess one of the bound torrents. I will ignore you. You are beneath their notice. Use their powers to destroy the Twilight devotees and their faceless overseers. No, Rory. We 100% don't know what these things are. Excuse me, excuse me. Don't mind me, guys. Don't mind me. Hey, praise to Nzoth or whatever. Hey, buddy. Your will is mine. Doop, 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 doop. Like I said, Rory, we do not know. We've actually been theorizing about it for the better part of the last couple of days. Because we don't know. Their devotions are silenced. Now you must destroy their leader. The energies you have stolen. The faithful enter the temple. Destroy Halazat the Ascendant. So this is actually the first... This is the first Ascendant we actually see in this game. Actually, that's not true. It is possible to see another Ascendant in Hyjal, pretty much at the same time as this. But that's what they look like. I'm trying to get you a good camera angle of this. As you can see, they're kind of part person and part elemental, which, again, like I said, they're a hybrid creature. Literally half elemental, half whatever they were before. Really, Zawan? That's actually kind of cool. So yeah, Halaziel, excuse me, Halaziel here is just another example of that. So I want to stress how incredibly creepy and gross this is. You remember the relative location we're at here? Remember the other ancient we were in? This is where its second heart was, right? You can see the pieces of the heart up there too, right? Well, you notice how there's these massive veins and arteries going in here that are taped, are literally plated by metal bars to the wall and don't connect to anything now? Think about that for a moment. And think about what they did to this poor creature. Hey, Kovard. I don't think this creature qualifies as a demigod, but my definition of demigod is a little more strict than most people's, so that's the only reason I say that. I will say, based on what we see, these creatures, whatever they are certainly very powerful creatures, or at least they should be. Alright. Die! A Goblin Elemental Hybrid would be awesome. By the way, if you can't tell, what actually happened here is kind of cool, and also indicative of that whole Neptulon connection we mentioned earlier. We are not actually controlling this creature. I mean, obviously we are the player, but you'll notice that our actual character is just riding on their back. We have not possessed this creature. We pulled a trick that we've actually done several times in this game before. We possessed it in order to free it from possession. It is willingly aiding us in this. The fact that one of these, an elemental of water, is willingly aiding us against the Twilight's Hammer is not only significant in its own right, but also another water connection here. Although, it is worth noting, in the interest of fairness, there might not be any water connection here at all. It might just literally be the fact that they are really, really pissed off at the fact that they were being used in the manner they were, and so they just want to get revenge on their captors. So there may or may not be a Neptulon connection there, despite all the other elemental connections.
You have done myself and the Tidehunter great service. You must return to the Darkbreak Cove. Aeronach Stone Speaker awaits you within. I die now.
Nice touch, by the way. The brain stops having electricity and signals going through it. It's all the same thing, elementally speaking, for Zoan. By which I mean, I have no idea. A lot of settings don't differentiate between the element of water and the element of ice, so... And so she dies. God, even her shell just didn't have the same color as Nespira's. Alright, guys. It's time to roll the dice and see if the cutscene works. That's pretty much the next action that's going to happen here. Oh, right. It's okay, Leander. The giant brain is dead. Wait, are you brainist, Leander? I'm kidding, by the way. All right. Hello again, Death Knight. I felt Lagoric die. A shame that such a magnificent being is gone. If we do not assist Neptulon, we will all meet the same fate. So yes, we are about to ally with an elemental lord. Yeah. War makes strange bedfellows indeed. The whispers of the elements are crowding my thoughts, Xylom. The throne of tides is under siege. I cannot stand idly by while the Naga threaten Neptulon's realm. You must find a way to join forces with him. Captain Taylor will escort me to the depths where I can communicate with Neptulon. I must ask you to take a more violent path. Keep the enemy forces distracted until I arrive. May the spirits see us through, Xylon. So, I have an answer for that in my settings of one, but not in Warcraft. So, the answer here is very, very simple. I don't know. Assuming they do another expansion, which is logical at this point in time. See, here's something that I want to point out. I don't know how many of you guys know this, but the Legion expansion might be our last peek at the Legion for a while. And I know that's a weird thing to say, and I'm going ahead and putting this prediction in writing, so to speak, here on the show. But the reason I say that is because there's a lot of little quiet hints that they're building up the Old God setup during the Legion expansion, and the only real reason to do that is to set up for a future encounter with the Old God forces. Among the pieces of evidence I have for that are included the fact that, did you know that the Naga, like all of the Naga, are getting a massive graphics overhaul and texture overhaul? Basically, they're getting the same work done to them that most of the playable races already got done to them in Warlords. That includes the female Naga, the male Naga, the Sea Witch Naga, the ones with the snake heads, and a whole new type of Naga out of absolutely nowhere. How's it going? So, you don't put that kind of effort into something as a secondary recourse. So I think they're tipping their hand a little bit on where they want to go next with that. There's a few other bits of evidence. It's all small stuff. There's nothing big. Although the mere fact that Xavius is in Legion makes me kind of go, for reasons I've already discussed. And the fact that the Naga are a presence and Ashara's forces are a presence in Legion also makes me go, you know, we'll see. Oh, cool. Do we finally have everything ready to go for the results, Sigotin? Sorry, I admittedly have lost track of that. And then, by the way, if you see the difference between the old Naga and the new Naga models, it's pretty significant. So yeah, they're doing a lot of good work on that. There you are. Ernuk's already gone ahead to speak with Neptulon. We better hurry. That is possible, Zawon. And it would be wrong for them to do that. Let's just make that clear. But, yeah. I'm going in after Ernak. Follow me and hope the cutscene doesn't bug. Seriously, I've seen this cutscene bug so many times. What? Hang on. Wait, what? Where's the... Are we not... Oh god. Oh god. No. Sploosh. Welcome to the Abyssal Maw. So, for those of you not aware, this is actually the elemental plane of water now. We are no longer on Azeroth, as of this very moment in time. Unfortunately, this is about the only peak we're going to get into this. Sorry, guys. I just want to show this off really quick. You see this? This is the raid that never was. This was supposed to be the Abyssal Maw raid. As you can see, we can't even go in. Let's go ahead and talk about this, finally. I've kind of been saving this for a bit. So, this raid, I've already talked about this in brief, but here's the synopsis. There are at least 2 relatively large plot threads that were left dangling after the events of Vashj'ir, of the quest chain here. And they were always planning to go ahead and have another patch where they would have some quests and some dailies and some lead into this, the raid. Now, they keep saying about how the raid was lackluster. Whether that's true or not is almost irrelevant because of the story that we are now lacking that we would have gotten in there and the plot threads that would have been chained up. Now, I have looked into a few things, and one of those plot threads has actually been tied up in Legion. I don't want to talk about that just yet. The other plot thread is still left dangling. Based on the fact, though, that plot thread has been tied up, it is very likely that we will never actually get the Abyssal Maw as it was, and they'll just kind of put those plot threads back into the game proper. Now, there's something kind of weird here, though, and I want to explain this really quick. So there was supposed to be a cutscene that we didn't actually see. And I'm not actually 100% sure what to make of that. Is it only on the Horde, maybe? Because there's supposed to be this whole thing where the ship goes down, and then you get attacked, and then you fight against the Naga. Like, there's supposed to be a whole cutscene here, which, you know, we didn't see. So I'll go ahead and summarize it for you, because we didn't see it. What happened here... I'm really confused about that. There was, like, it wasn't even bugged. It just didn't... It wasn't existing. Then again, I usually see this on the Horde side, so what do I know? What happens is we're like, okay, we must defend against the enemy forces. Oh, they just removed the cutscene. God, that... I can sort of see why. It was buggy as hell. Anyway, so we were fighting against the Faceless, and we were fighting against the Naga, and trying to defeat the forces of Unzoth. And as we were fighting them, the elements slowly started losing bit by bit. All these revenants, all these elementals. And so we're fighting against them. We will defeat you. And after a bit, finally Neptulon himself shows up. And he's like, I will show you the power of the Tidehunter. And just starts beating the crap out of everything. Abstractly. Yes, it actually is Dakota. But the thing is, the whole point was it was always a trap. They wanted Neptulon to come out and personally and show himself right about here. What happened then was Ozumat just lunged out and grabbed him and was able to weaken his power sufficiently that all the Naga here were able to channel all of their energy into him, which subdued Neptulon, and then they dragged him into the depths, whereupon we chase after them into the Abyssal Maw. Which, as you can see, is that. Also, as an aside, we are way below the surface of the water here. It's kind of nice. Same impact. Now, the story arc here continues straight into the dungeon. This is something they actually did rather well in several expansions, including this one, that they completely dropped the ball on in Warlords. This is one of my bigger complaints about Warlords, the fact that dungeons were practically inconsequential to the story, except in like an unconnected fashion. But back in, back in every other expansion, and in the expansion that we're going to be doing in the future, Legion, it didn't crash. Kidding, Alien. The quest chain of a story pretty much leads directly into a dungeon, like it does here. Hey, sure you. So, without further ado, we just pretend we're still on our Worgen as we walk into the Throne of Tides. Now, remember, this is in the elemental plane of water here, that we are not on Azeroth anymore. There's Captain Taylor. For those curious, if you're on the Horde, Captain or Legionnaire Nazgrim is here instead of Captain Taylor. Well, not really, Takoida, because dungeons are much, much more accessible than raids. Also, my complaint was the fact that heroic raids, as in the super hard stuff that most people will not do, was where story was locked behind, as opposed to dungeons, which anybody can do. So, you know. So, welcome to the Throne of Tides. Deep within the Abyssal Maw's fathomless expanse exists the Throne of Tides. From here, the great elemental lord Neptulon, the Tidehunter, surveyed and protected his aquatic domain for generations. He now faces his greatest challenge as the forces of the Serpentine Naga, a malefic faceless ones, threaten to expose him and depose him, leaving his realm and its secrets ripe for the plundering. For the record, I do enjoy Kata dungeons quite a bit. I admit I liked them a little better when they were harder. However, I will say one thing about Kata endgame initial, and that's the fact that the mana regen problem was a little ridiculous. Nice touch, by the way. You can see the Naga forces are actually fighting the elemental forces out in the plane there. Yes and no, Takoida. There's this thing called LFG. This is what I call doing it by yourself, because, I gotta be honest with you, that's kind of how I view it. When I am LFGing, I am soloing the content. There may be 4 other people in the party, but they might as well not be there. That's just my mindset on the matter. LFG and LFR both allow people to experience content solo, whereas previously you had to have 4 other people that you would find and talk to and say, hey, please help me with this. So I'm going to go ahead and, with an asterisk, say yes to Koira, because of my mindset on that matter. So you notice there's these giant tentacles of doom coming in both of those directions, so I guess we'll go straight. So that's Ozumat. You see him right there? In fact, you can even target him. The Fiend of the Dark Below. 5 million health. Holy crap. Seeing him up close kind of shows how big the bastard is. And there's our ride. Someone wanted a jellyfish mount? Well, this is as close as you're going to get. I have to admit, the visuals in this place are gorgeous. I love this place. This is effectively what an elemental plane here. Kind of like Firelands and Deepholm. And I love what they've done with this. There's another shot of Ozumat as we go by there. It's a bit of a shame. We literally go to all 4 elemental planes in Kata, but we spend very, very little time in the plane of water or the plane of air. And hey, it's Lady Najar. Remember her? Excuse me. I wonder if I could just dodge these. I totally can. That was in the elemental plane of air, yes, Sir Knucklehead. That was actually in...
Armies of the depths, wash over our enemies as a tide of death.
Notice how she's sending Murloc's slaves after us. Damn it. Looks like I have to kill the trash. Hang on, gotta go kill the trash. The same reason there is in most of the other elemental planes, Dakota. Remember, these planes were actually crafted. These are not natural planes. These places were actually constructed by the keepers.
Meddlesome gnats! You think us defeated so easily?
Skywall, that's the one. That's the name of the place. No, that was actually the Elemental Lord of Air. In fact, he is the first Elemental Lord to die. Unfortunately, there's not a lot of story emphasis given to it because time and money concerns. Mostly time. I just kind of want you to call your attention to the ceiling here. I just think it's cool looking with the seaweed, I guess, kind of spiraling through the air kind of a thing. I don't know. I'm still kind of new to playing this class, by the way. So I'm still kind of getting used to how to do things like AoE properly. There we go. Okay. Time for our first boss. Lady Nashar. Yes, she's the first boss we fight. Lady Nashar played a pivotal role in the retaking of Vashj'ir from the brutal Kvaldir, earning her Queen Ashara's favor. Recently, Nashar spearheaded the assault against Neptulon and succeeded in cornering the powerful elemental lord within his throne room. So this is actually Neptulon's throne room right here. Through here, he can access pretty much any aspect of the plane of water at will. Through those pseudo water portals going right there. What's up?
You have interfered with our plans. For the last time, minions, rise from the icy depths.
Oh, she's dead. Okay. So yeah, that was a mortal counter. Hang on. Gotta add that one. There we go. Mortal. Hello, Jonathan. What face this one's? I don't know what you're talking about, Zuan. In case you can't tell what's happening, we are shocking Ozumat with a massive amount of electricity. And I mean a fairly massive amount here. This is also weakening him, which will be important to keep in mind in a minute. Ozumat's like, dude, not cool. Oh god, yes they were. Hey, Sashi. Holy crap! It's Commander Ulthok, the festering prince. Ulthok is an incredibly ancient being in the mountains, sent by his old god masters to aid Lady Nashar with invading the Throne of Tides. Bristling with sinister powers, Ulthok commands legions of his fellow Naraki in the deepest trenches surrounding Vashj'ir. So, this guy was actually a lot of fun to tank, because really the difficulty of this fight was on the DPS. The fact is, he's going to drop these void zones. You'll barely see it, so I'm just going to describe it here. He's going to drop these void zones, and you need to kite them around the room, because in heroic mode, they don't go away, and eventually the whole room will be void. So, it's really a DPS race fight. Dodging his attacks is not hard as a tank. Now, the other Naraki, those guys tanking them is just a pain. I had a little bit of an easier time of it, because I'm a warrior, and I had intervene and hup to get out, but ugh. Anyways. Where one falls, many shall take its place. Yeah, what he's about to do here. Bam! And that'll just keep growing, too. You see how it's slowly expanding over there? Yeah. And what he just said was, they do not die. How many people did you know didn't know about the shortcut back down, by the way? I'll go ahead and raise my hands here, too. Yeah, anyways. You know, I've been wondering something. He mentioned that Aeronok came down here in order to fight them, too. You know, the shaman we've been working with the entire way through Vashj'ir. Literally, like, the first thing that happened after we got off the boat and were flung into the water by the tentacles was Aeronok was like, I'll save you! So he's literally been with us from the beginning until the assault on Neptulon. So where the hell is he? That's a good question, Zoan. The fact that they had never done so makes me curious. Like, ever. There's no recorded instance ever of any Naraki ever freeing itself of the will of the old gods. Unlike, say, the insectoid creatures, which we have seen that be a thing, so I don't know. Whoops. Wrong button. Yeah, so these guys are the guys who are a pain to tank. I'm going to actually demonstrate why, just because I want you to understand. So, they have two abilities that are of note, other than the fact that they hit like a truck. This is the first ability. They toss you into the air, and then they just start beating the snot out of whatever happens to be right next to them. Because, yeah. These guys suck. I had more wipes on those guys than anything else in this entire dungeon on Heroic. Like, these guys, these are a joke. You basically just have to pop every live cooldown, run in, aggro them all. Because that poison stuff they do will destroy you. But, whoops, wrong button. Wrong button. There we go. But these guys, ugh. Favorite old god. Oh, I don't know. Nzoth. Oh, Aeronok, there you are. Dude, I've been wondering where you are. Hey, listen. Okay, look. Just because I got the squid to the face thing doesn't mean you need to do it too. Okay? I mean, honestly, this is kind of a Me Too situation. I already did the squid thing, so you're doing the squid thing. Whatever, Aeronok. After his valiant efforts at the Abyssal Breach, the Earthen Ring shaman Aeronok Stonespeaker was abducted by the Naga and enslaved by the mindbender Gursha. It is feared that this parasitic aberration has taken full control over Aeronok's mind, body, and devastating shamanistic abilities. Pah! Yeah, let's see if that's true.
A new host must be found.
Now, considering I'm here alone, I'm going to kill him quickly. There we go. Let's just say. Because I'm not sure what happens if he tries to possess me and I'm the only one here.
You must carry on without me. I shall take my leave once my strength has returned.
You sure? Okay. If you're cool with it, buddy. By the way, Enhancement Shaman for life. That Aeronok is an Enhancement Shaman. Which is funny because he did Lava Burst it several times in the story. Our last boss is Ozumat itself. I'm going to try very hard to showcase what happens. 95% of players that I've seen completely miss the cutscene in the Ozumat fight. Ahem. Tales of the monstrous kraken that terrorize Azeroth's high seas were once relegated to myth, but no longer. By some ill means, the Naga have bent Ozumat, patriarch of all kraken, to their will and unleashed him on Neptulon and his followers. So we were talking earlier about the concept of, the potential of, like, demigods or whatever. If you ascribe to the demigod concept in Azeroth, Ozumat is definitely one of them. Okay, just a second. Let's drop that down. Right, I need to do that. Okay, there we go. Not including res or mass res. Any significant heal ability ventures. Literally any of them, just take your pick. Alright, so there's Neptulon.
My fearless assistants, I assume.
Yeah, that's us, buddy. How you doing, Neptulon?
You may yet regret your presence here.
Don't tell me that. So, what's going on, Neptulon? How you doing, buddy? So, the mechanics of this fight are actually interesting. The first half of the fight is, stretch. The first half of the fight is us keeping stuff off of Neptulon while he tries to empower us. And then we have the power of one of the elemental lords and beat the snot out of Ozumat. Yes, I know, Ventures. I'm just hanging out for a second. I'm gonna, like I said, I'm gonna try really hard to showcase the cutscene that everyone misses. Like, when I mention this to most people, they're like, oh, there's a cutscene. So let's go ahead and zoom the camera quite a bit here. The vile beast has been driven off, but my precious waters have been tainted. I must cleanse them at once. If you insist on lingering here, prepare to defend yourself.
As I purify these waters, the servants of filth will surely be stirred. Beware!
I also like how against the old gods in general Neptulon is. It's funny because Therazane is too. It's kind of curious how Alakir and Ragnaros were so easy to convince. Ragnaros makes sense, as I've actually already explained. getting Ragnaros on your side is easy. Like, that was a joke. What I find curious is that Alakir joined up as well.
Patience, guests. The waters are nearly cleansed.
Given the fact that the other elemental lords are so against the old gods. Like, what he just said pretty much describes in a nutshell. Filth is what they think of them as. And they have, now that we know this thanks to the book, they've been this way since forever, since they first united. For the first time, and the only time in history the elemental lords united was to fight against the old gods. Yeah, exactly, Schmundolf. Hey, Ragnaros, we'll let you burn the world. Sweet, sign me up! Wait, is there a catch? Well, yeah, you have to burn the world. That's not a catch, that's a bonus!
The beast has returned. It must not pollute my waters.
So, Ozumat has returned.
Ah, their filthiness stains me.
So we gotta prevent Neptulon from being corrupted by the gunk. Literally, ink and bluch is being tossed into here. And then...
My waters are cleansed. Drink in their power.
we become huge and ridiculously powerful, and at this point it's just a DPS rate to kill Ozumat.
Behold the power of pure water.
Now I want you to pay attention to what's about to happen. Did you see that? Because most people never see that. So, to reiterate, just in case you didn't see it, because, yeah, so originally that was supposed to be a cliffhanger ending. And it kind of is a cliffhanger ending. The idea being, we have defeated Ozumat, but as it's defeated, it grabs a hold of Neptulon and drags him off to the depths. That was supposed to lead into the additional story line that I just mentioned in the Abyssal Maw, where we were going to, go and free Neptulon from Ozumat and finally defeat him and the Naga forces there. So yeah, poor Neptulon has just been abducted, again, by the same creature. Legion spoilers incoming. Legion spoilers incoming. This is your audio warning. I will not warn you much more than this. So Neptulon is, of course, in Legion. He actually interacts with the shaman players as a result of that. And... wow, Braven. So Neptulon will actually show up in Legion. In fact, one of the things that happens, this is cute, is the Earthen Ring tries to summon Neptulon, and they summon Ozumat. And it's like, oh crap, we summoned Ozumat. But it's okay, because it turns out Ozumat is now Neptulon's pet. I mean in the sense of a hunter pet. Neptulon freed Ozumat from the control of the Naga and the Old Gods, and in so doing basically tamed him to his own will, as it originally should have been, because Ozumat was never actually a loyal creature of the Old Gods. So Neptulon arises and is like, it's okay, I have freed Ozumat from their control. He is mine now. What do you want, puny shamans? And the next major thing that happens is the shamans ask him to help them in uniting the elementals to fight against the Legion. And Neptulon says, ha! The elemental lords do not unite. Except we did unite one other time in the past. Foreshadowing.
What can I
And yes, that's yet another one of the hints about the possibility of a future Old God expansion. Sorry, just get rid of a few things here.
Off with you.
There we go. Effectively, yes, Dakoita. They did summon Neptulon. They just got Ozumat along with the deal, basically. So yeah, that is the end of Vashj'ir. And now you know how that actually finally tied up. Next, we will be going to Mount Hyjal, which is, in all honesty, Also, one of my favorite zones in this game. I love the plotline of Hyjal. I'm going to break for a little bit and get an early lunch in, because I'm actually starting to feel weak a little bit. So I hope to basically, what I'm going to do is I'm going to start streaming Hyjal, and the idea is to never stop streaming Hyjal until we're done for the night. Skipping dinner and all that fun stuff. So I will be back in a bit.